Good evening, everyone. This is BremSter, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle called Ring Road by CaptZebraCakes. Yeah, I don't have much details on this one other than it was recommended very highly. What's going on the channel? Of course, about a week ago, there was the video which was Help Improve SudokuPad. There'll be a link to that below where you can go to that video, and if you have a feature suggestion or you wish to look at the discussion that's happening about feature suggestions, go have a look there. I'm sure that Sven is paying close attention to that one, and at some point we will grab the most upvoted one and we will submit the 5 most upvoted or most heavily suggested features to Sven so he can pick one to put into SudokuPad. Also, I hope you're enjoying the KG constraints videos. More stuff like that is happening. Let's have a look at Ring Road by CaptZebraCakes, because this channel is about puzzles. So let's focus on that. So normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition, and digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. That's what we've got, just normal killer and normal Sudoku. I'm going to restart the puzzle, restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Now, it's very tempting to use the killer calculator on this one, but I'm going to see if I cannot. Now, 15 cages. There's only 2 ways of making a 15 cage, which is 6, 9 or 7, 8. Because if I start at 9, it would be 9 plus 6. If I then go down to 8, it would be 8 plus 7. If I then went down, it'd be 7 plus 8, and I'm starting to repeat. So I know I'm out of options there. So this is the same. So what am I looking at here? 13. If I don't use a 9 in the 13 cage, 8, 7, 6, and 5 would be gone. So if I don't use a 9 in the 13 cage, I wouldn't be able to use 8, 7, 6, or 5. So the maximum I would be able to use would be 4, 3, and 2. And 4, 3, and 2 only sums to 9, not 13. So there is a 9 in here. And then I need 2 digits that sum to 4. So this is 1, 3, 9. That's a really cool opening. And this is 2 and 4, the 2 digits that I haven't used in the box. That's a very cool opening. Okay. So where am I looking now? Is there a combination between 10 and 11 that's a problem? Or is it 2 13? How do you make 13? There are 3 ways of making 13. So I don't think that's it. Is it the border? I don't know. Like, I could see 4 is in one of those cells. It's possible there's something going on with 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s. Because I could see there's a potential of playing around with a set on this puzzle, but I kind of don't want to do that. Like, is there a way of solving this without a set? Because I know that these cells have a relationship with these cells. And it's very possible that that is required in order to solve this puzzle. But if that's the case, then this puzzle has already jumped up a huge amount of difficulty. Because if you don't know that for a fact, this puzzle is going to be nearly impossible. Well, you could discover it, but I was told that this puzzle was quite easy. But if you need to use set to solve it, and you don't know set equivalence theory, then you're never going to... Then this puzzle immediately becomes hard. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else that allows me to break into it. Because if I see that if I do use that, I can start writing in digits. Oh, man. I think that's the trick. So I think this is a puzzle that is easy if you know set equivalence theory, and really tricky if you don't. Yeah, I think that's what's going on here. Okay, so there is a relationship between these cells. I don't know if I've picked the same colors, it doesn't really matter, and those cells. And those cells must contain the same digits. And you will say, BremSter, you're an idiot. That can't be the case. But in any Sudoku grid, the blue cells, which is, I think you'll find it 16 cells. So 5 in that row, 5 in that row, 3 there and 3 there, 16 cells, will contain the same as digits as those 16 cells. Now I need to prove that. Now, I think this is like a 1-star puzzle if you know this. And if you don't know this, it's like a 4-star puzzle, which is cool for people who know it. So let me prove it to you. Let me try and prove it to you. I haven't done this set in quite a while. So I'm going to start by highlighting the border of the grid. We know that those cells there are going to contain, in the finished puzzle, all of the digits from 1 to 9. We know that this row is also going to contain all of the digits from 1 to 9. But when we do that, this cell is going to be the one in both the row and in the column. So there will be, in here, there's going to be 2 2s, 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s, 2 6s, all the way up to 2 9s, but this one is going to count twice. If I add this row, this 3 is now counted twice in this column and this row. And if I add this column, which also has 1s and 9s, then I'm counting both of those twice now. So this is 4 complete sets of 1 to 9. So I have 4 1s, 4 2s, 4 3s, 4 4s all the way through, except these digits are each counted twice. So I know that in those, in the border, I have all of the digits 1 to 9 4 times with those counted twice. Now, what I can then do is I can say this box is going to contain all of the digits from 1 to 9. This box is going to contain all of the digits from 1 to 9. This box is going to contain all of the digits from 1 to 9. And that box is going to contain all of the digits from 1 to 9. Great. So what? Well, the thing is, I now know that yellow and blue have exactly the same constituents. 4 1s, 4 2s, 4 3s, 4 4s, 4 5s, 4 6s, 4 7s, 4 8s, and 4 9s. Let's pick that cell. I don't know what that cell is. Let's say it's a 9. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. If I remove a 9 from both yellow and blue, we know that blue has, which, remember, yellow and blue are identical at this point. They contain 4 of each of the digits. If I remove 9 from the same group, then I'm going to have 4 of every digit except 9, of which I'll have 3, in both yellow and blue. So I've removed the same thing from both sets, and they would still be identical. And I can do that for any cell that is yellow and blue. And I can say now that yellow and blue are still identical. They still contain exactly the same digits. But what about these pesky corners? Well, they are double blue and yellow. So if I remove 1 blue and 1 yellow, I've still removed the same thing, and I can do that in all of them. I can remove a blue and a yellow, a blue and a yellow, a blue and a yellow, and they are still identical. And forgot to remove these. Now I'm at the point where I have back to where I started. They must contain exactly the same digits. Ta-da! Now, why is this important? I need to put a 1 somewhere in yellow. I can't put a 1 in a 12 cage because it'd need to go with an 11. I can't put a 1 in a 14 cage, it would need to go with a 13. Can't put a 1 in a 15, can't put a 1 in an 11, can't put a 1 in a 15, and I can't put a 1 in 13 cages. This is a 1-9 cage, which takes the 9 and 6 out of there because I've already used the 1. Now, I need to put a 2 somewhere. This 2 needs to go somewhere into yellow. Well, it's not in any of those. Those are already predisposed. If I put a 2 in a 12 cage, it would need to go with a 10. If I put a 2 in a 14 cage, it would need to go with a 12. And if I put a 2 in a 13 cage, it would need to go with an 11. None of that is possible. So this becomes a 2-9, which takes the 6-9 out of here. Now, I need to put a 3 somewhere in yellow. Well, it's not in any of those because those are already full. I can't put a 3 in a 13 cage, it would need to go with a 10. So the 3 must go, I can't put a 3 in a 14 cage, it would need to go with 11. So this becomes a 3, 9, which resolves that as the 2 and that is the 9. The 3, 9, now does that resolve the 14? Quite possibly, because I can't use 9, 5, I could use 8, 6. I can't use 7, 7 because that would double up. The 8, 6 makes that the 7 and that the 8. Pardon me. The 8, 7 here looks like making that the 6 and that the 8. The 1, 9 looks like making that the 3 and that the 9. Now I need to, one of these is going to be 4, 9. So there'll be a 9 down here because I still need to put a 4 into yellow and I can't put it into any of these. So the 4 is going to have to go into one of these 13 cages, which means it'll be 4, 9, but I can't put the 9 here because of that 9. So there's a 9 in one of those and a 4 in one of those. How else could I make a 13 cage? I could do it with 8, 5 or 7, 6. So there'll be either 8, 5 or 7, 6. I'm not sure which. I don't know. So how do I continue from here? But that's that all done. So do I want to look at this 11 cage now? Because this can't be 9, 2. It can't be 8, 3. It's either 7, 4. And I can't put the 4 there. So it's either 7, 4 or 6, 5. What about this 10 cage? This 10 cage, it can't be 1, 9, it can't be 2, 8. It could be 3, 7 or 4, 6. Oh, it can't be 4, 6 because the 4 must be down here. This is 3, 7 and that's going to fix this, isn't it? The 7 is making this 5 and 6. But now here, one of these is 4, 9. The other one is either 8, 5. I can't put 7. I can't use 7, 6 anymore. So this is 4, 8, and this is 5, 9. Because I can't put 7 into either of these anymore because of the 3, 7. There you go. So this is 4, 8, 5, 9. Now, does that resolve this at all? Because the 9 must be down here now, because I can't put 9 in any of those. Or is it this 11 cage? Because this can't be... Well, this is either 7, 4, which could be in either order, or 5, 6, which would be 5, 6. I'm not sure about that one. This 11 cage, it can't be 9, 2. Well, hang on. Actually, I don't know what's going on here. I know there's a 9 in one of those. Actually, there's a 9 in all of these blues because there's 4 9s in yellow. I've still got to put 4 8s in blue as well. So there's an 8 in each of these. Now, there's no 8 in either of those two or in either of those two. I've got to fit 2 7s in blue. There's not one there. 7 is in one of those. Oh, 7 is in one of those two. But it's not there. That's a 7. So this is an 8 9 pair. That's okay, I think. Well, that means this is a 7 by Sudoku. This is a triple, which is 2, 4, 5. There's no 4 there, so there's a 4 down here. But there's no 2 there. So what are these? 1, 2, 3, can't be 4. 2, 5, 6. And there must be a 6. Then 1, 2, 3. There must be a 4 in one of those. So they're 2, 4, 5. So these are 2, 4, 5, and there's no 5 there. What? Oh, this is also 2 or 4. Okay, I'm definitely losing the plot a little bit here. I'm not sure how these 11 cages are resolving it. This 11 cage, it can't be 9-2 or 8-3. If it's 7-4, it's 7-4. And if it's 5-6, it's 6-5. Is there something here I've missed? 8-5 or 9-4? Well, there must be a 5 or a... There must be a 4 or a 5 in here, and there must be a 4 or a 5 in here. So that can't be a 5. Because if that was a 5, this would become 4-7, and this would become 8-9, and that doesn't work. Let's look at this. 1, 3, 5, 6. There's no 3 there. There's no 3 there. There's no 5 there. There's no 6 there. I don't think this is it. Well, there's no 5 there either, because again, there must be a 4 or a 5 in here. This is 4-7 or 5-6, and there's a 4-5 there. So if that was a 5, this would become 4-7, and that would have no fill. So there's no 5 there. So 5 is in one of those two. 1, 5, is these 1, 5, 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, these are 1, 5, 6. But there's no 5 there, and there's no 5 there. That's the 5. And the 6 makes that the 1, so this becomes the 6. So this is a triple. 1, 3, 7. There's no 3 there, so 3 is looking up here, which takes 3 out of there, which makes that the 3, that the 1, that the 6, which means this can't be 5, 6. This is 4, 7, making that the 5, that the 2, that the 4. The 5 takes the 5 out of there. This becomes 2, 6, which makes that the 4 and that the 5. That's the 2. The 3, the 7 makes that the 1, taking 1 out of there. That's 3, 7. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. There's no 5 or 8 there. That's the 9. So there's no 9 there. This is 5, 8, and the 5 makes that the 8 and that the 5. This is very clever. But without knowing this opening trick, I have no idea how you'd even approach this puzzle. This is the 1. These are 6, 8, 9. There's no 6 or 8 there, so that's the 9. This is a 6, 8. So 9, 9, 9 is not in either of those now. That's the 9, so that's the 8. This is now 7, which means that's 5, so that's 6. The 8 looks up making that the 6 and that the 8. These are 2, 3, and 5. The 3 and the 5, there's a 3 there and a 5 there, so that's the 2. The 5 makes that the 3 and that the 5. It's possible there was another way through. It's just I saw that and just had to jump onto it. These are 2, 4, 6. There's a 6 there. The 2 and the 4 in the row make that the 6. So, and the 2 makes that the 4 and that the 2. And I was talking about that 2 making that the 4 and that the 2. The 1 and the 9 here, of course, make that the 3, and I take 3 out. The 9 makes that the 1 and that the 9. These are 1, 3, and 4. The 1, 3 makes that the 4, and the 4 comes out. The 3 makes that the 1 and that the 3. Could have used the 1, didn't. This is a 2 or a 4 for the column. This is a 4 or a 7 for the column, and there's already a 7. So that's the 4, that's the 2, that's the 4, that's the 2. The 4 looks up making that the 7 and that the 4. These are 1 and 3. Now, the 2 here makes this the 6 and this the 2. I need to get... This 5 makes that the 9 and that the 5. The 9 goes with the 4 to get to 13. Then the 9 looks back making that the 1 and that the 9. The 1 looks across making that the 3 and that the 1. The 3 looks across making that the 7 and that the 3. The 7 looks back making that the 8 and that the 7. 17 minutes and 50 seconds. Okay, so... And that includes me both spotting and then explaining this trick. So if you know this trick... I imagine you'll be able to do this puzzle in under 15 minutes because you don't need to explain it while you're solving it. If you don't know that trick, I wonder if this is solvable. I mean, wrong way to put it. I wonder what this puzzle is like without that trick. But it is a very, very good example of how to use set, if you know it, to make an easy set puzzle. I really like this one. I really do. It's very, very cool. Curious to see what people think of this one. It's called Ring Road, so I'm pretty certain this was intentional, because this is basically what is often called the exploded Fistemafel ring. Yeah, I do wonder what people are going to come up with for this one. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. I grabbed this one because the testing times were all short and I wanted to bring a shorter, easier puzzle to the channel, but I think I failed. See how we go. Thanks everyone, and as always, good luck with your solving.